Vardy, what an absolute machine she was. I loved her method. How clever was that, putting the blocks on the floor to make the actual puzzle? And it was definitely the best game plan. It was an exciting trial actually, and I would love now to see Oti win this. She's so humble, fun, and has the most amazing personality. Even when I'm doing her pat with her fork, the camp were absolutely buzzing for her, and it's absolutely well deserved. But poor Maura was covered, and that was definitely putting her off, and she was trying so hard. Have you ever wondered what happens when you get filthy and wet after a trial? They do give you clean clothes, but you still can only shower in the main camp, and believe me, that shower really is freezing cold. And you never ever feel really clean in here. You constantly smell of campfire, DEET and damp. It's absolutely disgusting. Do you know what? The conversation last night about parenting, wow, what a heavy conversation, but one so many will identify with. You know, Alan talking about being a parent and always wanting to be present, and you do, but also having such overwhelming guilt with work. But Danny and Oti, their conversation, wow, he talked about early days being a dad, and it's not recognised and spoken enough in public. Dads find it so hard in the newborn stages because they almost feel like a spare part, as the baby really needs their mum more, but also how Danny found it hard when his wife was struggling with postnatal depression. He didn't know what to do about it, but now he's able to reflect about maybe not being there properly for her, especially during that time. And I think the majority of men, you know, maybe feel like that, but it was so honest of him. And I feel like he's really using the jungle as a bit of therapy and healing. But I'm sure he's the most amazing husband and daddy. And navigating postnatal depression is so hard, as you feel like you're such a failure, but equally it's so hard for men, as maybe they don't know, who to turn to for support. And I loved how Oti ended with how strong her husband makes her feel. And that's what relationships are all about. It's about being a team and working together, supporting each other through the good times and the bad. And the one thing I've really noticed about Danny is that no matter what the conversation and no matter who with, he always listens intently. He never interrupts or ever tries to make it about himself. And you know, he's definitely the nation's sweetheart, as Oti said. Maura was talking in the camp and the rest of them about being recognised in public. And she's so right when she says, you know, people in the public eye get some serious abuse. I think when it comes to having pictures like they were talking about last night with fans, and I know Jamie always, you know, obliges, but if the kids are with us, then it's a hard no. You know, you want your kids to grow up having the most normal life as possible, but some people just don't accept that. I remember we once had a man come up to us in a shop when one of the kids was a tiny baby, and Jamie was holding her and he asked for a picture, and Jamie said no because he was holding the baby, and the guy kicked off massively and literally demanded he gave her to me. And that sort of thing really winds me up. It's when people take sneaky pictures of you when you're with your kids. It's just so weird and rude. You know, people just need to remember that, you know, sometimes when you're out in public, you just want to be a normal family and normal people. But at the same time, you know, you have to recognise that, you know, people are interested and people do want to have pictures, and, you know, most of the time it's okay, but with the kids, no. The challenge with Danny, Barry, Alan, GK looked so tough, but Barry was so encouraging as ever, and Alan loved talking to the spiders. But they did so well to get 7 out of 8 stars. I'm absolutely gutted for Maura. She really entertained me. She was so funny, and she's definitely my kind of personality. And I'm so sorry to see Barry leave. I feel he kind of drifted a bit and wasn't getting enough airtime. And Danny will sure miss him. Thank goodness we only have 3 days to go.